Alright guys, got one towed in here over the weekend. I believe it's a 99 Dodge Ram 2500. It's got the big V10. It cranks, but it will not start. This is a farm truck, he says, which I guess is a diplomatic way of saying it should have been recycled a decade ago. It's pretty rough. Anyway, he wants it fixed, so we're gonna see what it's all about. He said it's got a parasitic draw on the battery and has had for several years. Instead of fixing it, he just fixed it by installing this battery cutoff switch. That should be live. See, it's got the Andrew Camerata easy access dash pad. Otherwise, the interior is not too bad. Anyway, that's what it does. He said it smells like gas, so probably not getting any spark. I don't know what these have for like a security key, if anything. Yeah, I guess it's trying to rain, so we better get it inside, work on it in the shop, which means we better wait for the Hufflepuff towing service to get off of school so she can help me. I'm actually not sure I've ever worked on one of these Dodge V10 engines. It appears to be a waste spark system. He told me he thought maybe the ECM was a problem. I see it looks like it's original. So, yeah. Let's check for spark. And what are the chances we can get one of these plug wires off without wrecking it? Pretty good, I'd say. Got a new spark tester tool. You're probably gonna ask me where I got it, and I cannot remember. Had it for a while. It's the first time I've gotten to use it. Let's try the corner of the smog pump here. Alright, now we're still gonna have to have help because I can't do this part by myself either. Tell you what, lady, that was one of our less eventful towing experiences. Alright, need your help to check for spark.
Okay. Can I put it in?
Yeah, put it in park. Oh boy. Okay, try to crank the engine, please. Well, she's got spark. Okay. Alright, crank it. Okie dokie. What do we think? Probably needs a fuel pump, be my guess. Alright, can you just turn the key on? I want to hear for the fuel pump. Oh, hey! Just turn the key on, don't crank it.
Oh, sorry.
Off. Back on. No, I can't tell. Thought I heard it earlier. One more time. Off. Okay, back on. Yeah, I don't hear it. Okay, that's probably all we need. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, where do we figure the fuel pump relay is? What is all this garbage? What the heck is that thing? Oh, that's the washer? Windshield washer hose? Why is it? You know what? Just do your job, Wes. Don't complain. What do we got here? Fuel heater. This is not a diesel. Fuel system relay. There it is. Right there. 20 amp power outlet. So, let's see. Let's swap it out for that guy. Should be the quad beam relay, whatever that is. Headlights, I guess. Oh yeah, high beam relay. Alright, let's try her again. I hear clicking. Okie doke. Let's get the relay test kit made by Lyle. Pretty handy little kit. Should be that guy, I think. Looks the same. So now our relay just plugs in the top of this thing. And then this plugs into the fuse box. And it gives us a breakout. But I've got to look at the pin out here to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So there should be power on 3. Which one is 3? Key's got to be on. Yep. Yep. Okay. That's good. So, should get power on that pin, pin 5, when the fuel pump runs. And it does. Okay, cool. So now I think we need to go back to the fuel pump, see if the juice is getting back there. So we're good up here. We're going under. Oh, I can't wait to see what this gem looks like underneath. Well, that's why it's so loud. It has no exhaust. Hey, you think it's got a little lack of power with that cat converter completely coming apart? Unbelievable. It's like that one's already been gutted. Jeez. Of course, this is a 2500, so I don't think it has a downstream O2 sensor. 99, I doubt it. It just has that air pump that runs into the converters all the time, smog pump, whatever you want to call it. Boy, this thing is rough. Look at the frame, or what used to be a frame. Exhaust hanger busted off. What is that? Somebody just slit a hole in the middle of the box, left the spiral remnant there. Why would they do that? Jeez. Come on, Wes. Fix the truck. Don't look around. Stop complaining. Alright, I think it's pretty easy to get to the top of this tank. Yeah, let's definitely not touch that filler neck at all. Let's see if we can weasel up there and get to that connector for the fuel pump. Man, this thing is rough. Look at the rust jacking on the frame. Right there. I can fit my whole finger in there. But if I kind of wedge you guys in here like that. Oh, I think I managed to drive the stupid Chrysler red lock out. Now if we can just get this connector to come loose. Come on, you sucker. Come on. Oh, there we go. Simple. Should have just back probed it, I guess. But I got a feeling we're going to be taking this thing out anyway. Okay. Should be, what, 4 wires? 2 big ones for the pump and 2 little ones for the sending unit. Looks about right. Let me see if I can find something to poke in there. And we'll check her for power. Alright. I'm going to order a fuel pump. Let's get a look at these fuel tank straps. I'll tell you what, I think that would come out. They don't look too rusty. I don't know. That doesn't look too bad. I bet it would come out of there. I wonder if somebody's replaced the fuel tank straps in this thing, because they're always rotted out on these Dodges. Good thing though is Dodge has been using plastic tanks since way back, so if we can get it out of there without breaking the straps, fuel tank should be fine. Oh, what about the filler neck? Think we can get those hoses off there without destroying that? But it looks pretty crunchy up there. Alright folks, it's the next morning. I think I forgot to disconnect the battery last night. Sure did. Let's see if it's dead. It is not. Seems just fine. Well, that's interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and test it for a parasitic draw, but I don't know if it didn't go down overnight. Must not be much of a draw. I think I should be able to just clip on here and then clip on here and then unscrew that. And we'll see what happens. Give it 15 minutes or so for all the modules to go to sleep. 600 milliamps is pretty high. Well, it's been about 20 minutes. We're down to 250 milliamps, but that still seems too high. Now, this is an older truck. It has fairly limited electronics. I would think 30 to 50 milliamps would be kind of normal. So yeah, let's start digging. So we're going to use our trick of the voltage drop across the fuse. Works really well. So you basically use the fuse as a current shunt, and any voltage drop across the fuse indicates an amp draw in that circuit. Well, sorry guys, I got interrupted. I used my custom door switch holding tool to hold that guy in so we're not hearing a ding 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 all the time. I checked all the fuses inside here. They're all fine except for this guy right here inside this fancy black plastic holder. That is the IOD fuse, ignition off drain. And the idea is that when you put the truck into storage, you can just reach in here and pop this guy out and it kills off all the parasitic draws on the battery. It totally eliminates the PCM and everything. and the battery draw goes to 0. Anyway, when I pull that fuse out, the battery draw goes to 0. Looking at the wiring diagram, there is a ton of stuff that runs off that IOD fuse, and I don't see any easy way to separate them. I took the knee bolster out. You cannot get to the back side of that fuse panel without pulling the whole dash apart, and we're just gonna break this thing into a million. Oh man. Now the left side matches the right side. Anyway, I think what we're down to is just going through this list here and checking all these things. Most of them I think are going to be inside the cab. So yeah, let's go through it here real quick. I think we'll start with the underhood lamp. It's the first on the list. I think I looked earlier, it's already been, yeah, it's all been disabled and wires are cut, so I don't think that's the problem. Overhead console base. I think this is a base model. Looks like it's busted. I don't see any lights on there. Left visor vanity lamp. I think we have a visor vanity lamp here. Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, that switch seems to work. That one's good. Right visor vanity lamp. Okay, that switch seems to work. That seems good. Overhead console high line. I don't know what that is. I don't see anything there. Let's open this little door here. Okay, there's nothing inside there. That's good. And then there's a bunch of stuff we can't check. Data link connector. Glove box lamp. Well, there it is. That, folks, is probably the problem. I knocked my door switch tool out. Let me reset that and we'll go around. We're back up around 700 milliamps, but I think that's because the door was open. Yeah, it went back down, so something wakes up when you open the door. Well, that would certainly do it. So I guess whatever that thing was originally attached to is long since broken, and now the little switch here doesn't work. So let's pull the bulb out and we'll see what our amp draw goes down to. Can't imagine that little light bulb takes a half an amp, but I guess it's possible. Okay, we're down to 375 milliamps. But I just closed the door. Let's see if it goes down once everything goes back to sleep. Could be multiple issues. You never know with this thing. It's been a bit. We're still at 370. Service info says it should go down to the minimum within 3 minutes. And I know from looking at it before that something went to sleep after about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go to lunch. We'll come back, see if we have a change. Lunchtime is over. What do we have? Nothing. Okay, good. So there must be some item on the list there that takes a long time to go to sleep. But once it goes to sleep, it's good to go. I still don't like that 375 milliamps, even though it does eventually fall off. It's on this circuit somewhere, because if I pull this fuse, it drops basically to 0. So I'm thinking it's got to be either the radio or this seatbelt control module. So let's see if we can find that. Okay. So the seatbelt control module is right there, underneath the center seat console deal. And the plug for it is over here underneath the driver's seat. I just unplugged it. Let's see what happens. Looky there, 94 milliamps. I bet that's going to drop down even more once the central timer module times out. So I'll bring you back in a few seconds. Sure enough, we're down to 6 milliamps. So that's the problem. The seatbelt module. What do they call it? Seatbelt control module. It's just taking too long to go to sleep, or it's taking a long time to go to sleep. But I don't think we're going to worry about it. As long as it does eventually go to sleep, it shouldn't be a problem. ALLDATA has some description and operation information about that seatbelt control module. They actually call it a seatbelt timer module. And if I'm reading this article correctly, there's a 30-minute timer built into the module. So it keeps the retractor latch unlatched for 30 minutes after the key is switched off, or 30 minutes after the door jamb switch is closed. So I think it's working correctly. Looks about the same as it did from the creeper. Check out that frame rail. I wasn't even sure I wanted to pick it up. I'm not sure I want to be standing under it. Gotta love Illinois. If you have $146 and something you can screw a license plate to, you are good to go. Well, the good news is I think we can get that tank out. The gauge says it's about half full, which is good. Normally when the fuel pump fails, they're completely full. Looks like original brake lines there, but somebody's replaced the ones going to the rear. Alright. Look at that sway bar link. Once again, fix the problem, stop complaining, get it done, get it out the door. Look at this worthless dog sleeping in the grass. Oh, he popped his head up. Yeah, right. Oh, come on. They don't look that rusty, but they certainly are. Really? Oh, come on. What are they? 7 millimeter? Sure enough. I'd be real surprised if those come off there without some kind of damage. But you never know. That was the easy one. I think we'll leave that one until we lower it down. Well, that's not coming out of there. Well, there she is. It's super sketchy doing these long fuel tanks when they're partially filled. You get it on a little bit of an angle, and then pretty soon the fuel runs all that way, and then you run a big angle, and then you've got a big problem. I was watching Eric O on South Main Auto. He had a fancy tool for doing these Chrysler plastic fuel pump lock rings. It's like a adjustable thing that goes over the tabs. But these are oil filter pliers. They work pretty good. Okay, beautiful. Got us a new fuel pump made by Delphi. What's this about? Apparently there's some assembly required. Okay. There's two different options on the fuel pump. I guess there's a 34-gallon tank if you have the short box, and everybody else uses the 35-gallon tank. This is a 35-gallon tank, and this pump's actually a little bit cheaper than the smaller tank. Must be more common. I don't know why they couldn't make it so that the pump was the same, but I guess that's not surprising. There we go. There we go. All right, folks, we're back together. I don't think I broke the filler neck. At least not any more broken than it was. Tank is strapped back in. All the connections are made. I think we're ready to set her down and try it. Guess we better knock that junk out of the catalytic converter while we're here. Well, if anybody from the EPA is watching, I'm definitely not actually doing this right now. Well, in my opinion, we're actually reducing the emissions because there's a 0% chance this guy's going to buy 2 new catalytic converters. And right now it's probably running on about 5 out of 10 cylinders. So I think that's good enough. It should blow that stuff out of there as soon as we start it up. Are the running boards still structural? Maybe. Oh man. Tell you what, these Dodges have plenty of ground clearance. Oh. That's not good. Let's see. There's our problem. They put it in neutral in the transfer case to tow it, which is a good idea, except we need to be in too high. There we go. over the road. How does he drive this thing? Oh, that's awful. It's probably got 30 degrees of steering wheel play. You're probably thinking maybe they just used this truck off-road on the farm. It's got license plates on it. They're driving it down the road. And this thing must have been a real dog with a banana in the tailpipe. Alright, we're done. Alright folks, there you go. Replacing the fuel pump in a 1999 Dodge Ram 2500. Not too bad of a job. Plus we got a little bonus footage fixing that parasitic draw. They towed it in, they're going to drive it home. Can't complain about that, I guess. I do have one more job to do. No, it's not fixing the worn out front end. It's not replacing the bald tires. It's not fixing the broken frame. I'll give you one guess. That's right. He wants to fix the air conditioning. So we'll do that and we'll send it down the road. And if you see this one coming, you might want to give it a wide berth. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. AC machine's doing its thing, pulling a vacuum. The only leak I found was up here on top of the compressor. It has a couple of these little flat rubber seal rings. I replaced those. It should be good to go.